Since the Prius's debut in 1997, Toyota has sold millions of Prii, as it is called, all around the world. And I recently picked up a classic Toyota Prius. Hey everybody, A-Spec here, and today I am taking a look at the 2003 Toyota Prius. The first generation model sold in the US from 2001 to 2003. Prius debuted in 1997 in Japan. It featured a 58 horsepower 1.5 liter twin cam gasoline engine and a 33 horsepower electric traction motor and a 13 horsepower generator. These two motors are named MG2 for the traction motor that actually drives the vehicle down the road, and MG1 for the generator, which also acts as the transmission. The Prius came into the 2001 model year for the US. It had a 70 horsepower gasoline engine, and the maximum horsepower is simply raised by raising the maximum RPM from 4,000 to 4,500. The electric motor also got a bump to 44 horsepower. This model of Prius wasn't all that successful in the United States, but it was a revolutionary new vehicle. Even though the Honda Insight really had the crown of being the first hybrid vehicle imported into the US, the Toyota Prius in Japan was the world's first practical hybrid. And when it was released in the United States in 2001, it told people that hybrid didn't need to mean little tiny sports car that sits two people and has almost no cargo space. So stepping into the front seat of the 2001 to 2003 Toyota Prius. Of course, this is a 2003 model, but all the Gen 1 Priuses were pretty similar, or Prii were pretty similar in terms of how they looked up here. They've got electric power steering. You've got a key slot. The key slot is strange because it's angled a little bit. Turn the key here to on, and then turn it all the way until you hear a beep and you let go. That fires up the 70 horsepower 1.5 liter gasoline engine. To turn it off, there you go. The vehicle is off right now. So the vehicle is in accessory mode. Alright, it's an accessory. Turn it off, you have to push in the key quite firmly and then let it go. So this is off right now, but taking a look at the shift lever, it kind of looks like a broken chicken wing. It pulls down for drive, and you pull down, park, reverse, neutral, drive, and there's an engine braking position that uses the gasoline engine to slow the vehicle down. And I'm just going to put it in accessory mode here, so you can see there's a color touchscreen LCD display. Quite a novelty feature, as I must say, for 2001. Because this car is black, it's so hot inside. It's really hot inside. And I don't always fuel by turning the engine on, because this was what the car was all about, fuel efficiency. You can see either the energy monitor. The energy monitor is a display that shows where the power is going and what the battery state of charge is. If I turn it on, you can see that the battery is 75% full, and I got a relief there from the heat when the climate control turned itself on. I'm going to actually turn this on low, make sure you can hear me in this interior. There's an AM/FM radio, a disc player, a CD player right down here, And it's also got a tape deck. It's pretty cool. And there are optional keys for a navigation system, but that was not included in this vehicle. An automatic climate system, as I showed you before. AC, however, the AC is not electric, as in the newer Prius models. The AC runs on the gasoline engine, so the gasoline engine has to always come on whenever the AC is on. There are exceptions to this rule, though, which I will go over when we check out the hybrid system later in this video. Fans on low, pretty quiet on low. 2, 3, 4, that's maximum. I'll leave it on 2, or I'll leave it on low. This is the trip odometer button. You've got a hazard light switch right over here, and you can switch to kilometers per hour on the speedometer. Power steering is very light at low speeds. There's a cruise control. This is a cruise control on, off. Push it down to cancel. You push it down a little bit to set. Push up to accelerate. This is pretty similar to other Toyota vehicles that I've been in. Moving into the rear seats of the 2003 Toyota Prius. You've got pockets on the back of the front seats to put things like magazines or books. You have a grab handle up here. There's also a grab handle up there. There's map lights. You have a convenience light that turns on when you open the door, but you can change that setting by moving this little knob. The windows go all the way down in the back. They are not, however, one-touch power up, auto powered up, down. There's actually a little tray, a little storage compartment back here to put things. I don't know what you would put in there, but seems like a pretty good idea. And actually, that is a cup holder back here that can hold 2 little tiny cups. Or 1 larger cup. And, of course, seating for 3 back here, but I would think that would be a little tight. Putting 3 back here would be it. The middle seat is would probably only be for short trips, although the roof is really high back here, actually. That's surprising, seeing that the whole point of this vehicle is fuel economy. I've got plenty of headroom back here, as well as plenty of headroom in the front. But man, is it hot back here, because this vehicle is black. It's not the most efficient color, especially if you're running the AC in the summertime. In the trunk, there's a good amount of space. You get this nice little Prius emblem back here. And under this hump in the trunk is the battery. It's a 273.6 volt nickel metal hydride hybrid battery. Now that was an overview of the 2003 Toyota Prius. Now I'm going to show you my video from when we drove it back from the dealership and see how it performs. Alright everybody, welcome to the 2003 Toyota Prius. Alright.
Hang on, I gotta take care of this ding.
What?
My hearing aids with the mask and silly.
I put mine in the center console. Alright. There we go. That's on auto. AC's on.
Get your seatbelt on?
Yep. Might be a good idea to reset this trip meter. Yep. Reset the trip meter. Stick it in reverse.
Remote window controls, huh?
What?
Where's the remote window control?
The window is there.
Oh.
The mirror is down. Yeah. It's strange, yeah. And here we go.
Here we go.
Energy monitor tells us that when our battery is about 75% full. All right. Fascinating. That energy display is just like you would get in a newer Prius, but the graphics have changed a little bit. Still, it's kind of fun watching what it's doing. Windshield wipers work.
Probably gonna need wiper blades. Aren't bad. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a company car. I expect they maintained it fairly well.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to be a responsible company. You can see by the inside of the building that they take care of their stuff.
Yeah. Regen brakes. Yeah, they're a little touchy.
Yeah.
You
get used to them.
Yeah. An owner's site that I saw says the brakes only require the amount of pressure the accelerator requires, pretty much. So they feel touchy when you press them on them like normal brakes. But once you lighten your touch, they feel fine. Yeah. And a gentle touch on those brakes. Because they're fly-by-wire brakes. Alright, switch over to our consumption. I'm not going to get great mileage at the start because the air conditioner is blasting and it needs to be able to, or it needs to cool down in here before we can shut the engine off and glide on EV. So, and of course, the engine isn't up top ready temperature yet, so. One of the things I appreciate about this car is the vent shut-off. It makes sense. A lot of cars simply have circles, and this shows you airflow, air stopped. The regular circles in most cars, they don't make sense.
They don't make sense. No.
Yeah, because you have a filled-in circle, and then you have an open circle, and you don't, which is which?
Yep.
Is air gonna flow when I put the vent this way, or yeah, it's something you have to get used to. But I like this car because this has it makes sense. Now we're not even using the battery. We're using the engine to drive MG2, or to spin MG1, providing power to MG2 to drive the wheels. 7 miles an hour.
So which MG charges the battery?
MG1.
MG1.
And that also works as the transmission. Drags on the engine to slow it down and to balance it at the optimal load. And MG2 is what actually drives you down the road. But you can influence MG2 with the engine. Pretty cool system. It's fascinating how that all works.
Yep, it is.
Especially back in 2001, or actually 1997, the original Prius was introduced. Must have taken a very smart group of people to figure this out.
Group of engineers, yeah.
Very intelligent group of engineers.
Very
devoted.
I'm sure they went through all kinds of trials and tribulations trying to figure out
Yes.
what worked and what didn't work.
Yes.
Tried something and nope, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Let's try something else.
The first Prius prototype could only drive 100 meters or so.
Really?
Yeah. And then they had issues with the cooling. And that's what gave birth to the turtle light.
Oh.
You don't know, there's a light on the dashboard up here that when the battery is low or when it's really hot, the turtle light comes on. That means you're limited severely as far as performance. I've seen videos, I might be able to put a video right here of...
Don't do it right now, I can't watch it anyhow.
If the turtle light is on, your acceleration, it takes 30 seconds to get to 60 miles an hour. It's just horrible how slow it is. But I guess for the Japan market, they just wanted they had issues with cooling going up mountain passes in the hot weather. And they just wanted to put that there as a warning that the car is going to be crazy slow. On the freeway right here. Charging the battery? For a second there, it was charging the battery. Acceleration is okay, actually.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Not terribly slow.
Nope.
But it does whine a little bit.
Oh yeah,
when you get into it.
It does.
Yeah. But I could get used to that. No, the engine is a lot closer to the firewall than you get in a regular car with all that stuff to drive the whole system, and you don't get as much sound insulation as you do in a regular vehicle, even of the time.
I think we're going to hold it at about 65.
Yeah. It's not super quiet on the highway.
No, it's not super quiet on the highway, but you know what? It holds the road pretty good. This thing doesn't... Occasionally cars with this kind of mileage, you get the bad shimmies at 60 at highway speed.
Ominous rumbles.
Yeah, ominous rumbles. I don't have any ominous rumbles and I don't have any shimmies.
Yeah, on the highway it rides fairly well. The engine doesn't moan. It falls into the background, the engine, when you're just cruising. Yeah. It is comfortable sitting here at 65 miles an hour. I've heard complaints about the seats in these first generation Prii, but they're actually pretty comfortable.
I mean, they aren't bad. I mean, they're not the worst seats.
Right, they're not horrible, but they're not Acura RDX seats.
No.
But
no.
Definitely not.
They're not Acura RDX seats. Alright, now 35 miles an hour. Oh, just went out. Just went to charging the battery, but we were gliding in EV mode. Now we're gliding in EV mode. No, it just went out. 42. It works best at slower speeds. It's under 40 miles an hour. It'll kick into EV mode. You'll be able to glide for like mile and a half without turning the engine on. But if the AC needs to
keep the cabin cool, the engine needs to be on. But it'll go on and off as required to maintain the cabin temperature. So if you're in stop and go traffic or you're going through a neighborhood, you won't burn nearly as much fuel.
But we don't need the air conditioning on.
You don't need the air conditioning on, so turn it off.
Out there.
Yeah.
It's 61 degrees.
Let's just keep it in auto now. AC is off. So probably on Highland Road with that 35 mile an hour speed limit, you can set the cruise control and it'll go into EV mode. It takes a light foot to stay in EV mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't want to do it when you don't want to try to accelerate in EV mode because that burns a lot of the battery. You take a lot of juice out of that battery trying to accelerate from a stop. Yeah. Oh, you can hear the regenerative braking as you slow down.
So set the cruise control at 35 and see what happens, huh?
Yeah. Alright, now we're gliding in EV mode. Yeah. Not burning any fuel. Cool. It's really quiet now. There's no engine running. It's the nice part about driving a hybrid.
Get that.
Yeah. And the guy said it wouldn't go into EV mode above 20.
Yeah, I don't think he knew what he was talking
Yeah, you don't
about.
know your hybrids, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was what I was worried about. I was worried if the battery was going, it wouldn't be able to go into EV mode.
Uh-huh.
But it's fine. I'm gliding along 37 miles an hour. Straight EV. Yeah, now we're on a 30 mile an hour road in straight EV. We're gonna capture some energy at this turn. We got the windows open so the AC doesn't need to run. Saving gas, man.
We're saving gas, man. We're saving gas. We in a Prius. I can't believe it.
And it doesn't even need power from the battery
Yeah,
to
we
run the electric motor. And that gives you an idea of how it goes out of its way to protect the battery.
Mm-hmm.
And this battery has lasted 176,000 miles. I don't know if it's ever been replaced.
I don't either.
I'm not sure. The guy that sold it to us didn't tell us if it's been replaced or not.
He didn't replace it. He's had it for a while.
Yeah, he tested it. I don't know, what's our mileage now? 48.
48 miles to the gallon.
Yeah. Of course, it doesn't hold up today as far as the king of mileage.
Yeah.
But
For a 17-year-old
for
car?
a 17-year-old car, it's really
I think
good.
The mileage is pretty good.
Yeah. Alright, we're pulling into our driveway here. And we're home. 48.3 MPG on that drive. Pretty good if you... So that was my quick overview and test drive of the 2003 Toyota Prius. If you have any questions about the Toyota Prius or anything else you'd like me to review, leave them in the comments. And this is A-Spec signing off.